Welcome everybody. Today is International Shades Day. So we are going to do the whole podcast with our shades on. So today me and Tinashe kind of wanted to talk about something that he was debating about. So he's going to tell it to you guys because I totally forgot about it in the past 5 minutes, which he was doing something else, which makes no sense. But I think we all have gone through that moment where you were thinking about something.
Oh, actually.
See, this is why the doctor is no longer asking the questions here anymore.
Wait.
After this period where he's
okay.
We're gonna do 5 minutes later.
Okay. No. Okay. I was asking you if you were to. How long would it take for you to move? I'm trying to find a way of. Of course, I didn't ask you a question, but I'm trying to bring a question so that we can discuss about.
Sure.
So I was asking you, how long would it take for you to move on if you were to?
In case, baby, you are watching this, I would just like you to know we are for life. However, and also, there is no one ever, anywhere in my phone who's trying to make a move, you know what I'm saying? So,
for conversation's sake.
For conversation purposes. I think if ever I was to break up with a guy, I'm not gonna lie, it wouldn't really take me a week to find somebody else.
A week?
Because in the moment society begins to know that lettuce is on sale again, there is always somebody waiting. They might not communicate with me daily. Some of them might not even exist right now, but
they're probably checking your statuses.
They're probably checking my status to see, okay, she's still in love. Still in love.
And they're praying.
And
they've been praying. I'm telling you, they'll be praying. Dude, I swear.
I don't know about.
Not I swear, but I just think for every relationship, there's always someone who's praying that
for the demise.
That your relationship doesn't work.
Both
on girls and boys' side.
I can't believe there's somebody right now praying to have my man. At the same time, there's some guy out there praying to have me, which is absurd, honestly. But thinking about it, it can explain why there's so many problems in relationships. Somebody's fighting you.
It's praying.
And by praying, we're not saying you're praying to God, because ain't no way God is about to answer that type of shit.
No, but God can answer you if it's not meant to be.
If it's not, yes, that's true.
I'm telling you.
So for me, I'll probably say 1 week. It wouldn't take me a week. But knowing myself and my character, realistically speaking on the ground, I would never actually get into the relationship a week later. I like to heal. I like to actually get over my previous relationship before I get into something else. I feel like it's the cruelest in behavior to quickly jump into another relationship and then project your insecurities from your previous relationship on your current relationship, constantly making the other person feel like they're not enough because you are constantly reminding them that or you start acting and trying to test somebody to see if they won't do what the other person did. So you make someone feel insecure because you're feeling insecure. So I personally like to heal, and I feel like a lot of the time as women, we do that a lot on guys. Like
healing?
Not healing.
Okay,
women don't heal.
Thank you.
One person that would cheat when I David, right? And then after David, you're already with Tinashe.
Painkiller.
Now Tinashe has to deal with the trauma you faced from David because he cheated on you, he disrespected you, he physically abused you, you didn't heal, you jumped into a new relationship to prove a point to David that you don't need him.
Plus, what they didn't do a painkiller. I just think the next guy that a woman's gonna date is automatically a painkiller.
Immediately. Yeah. Especially if like Muskanya Wuzoti, I just got out of a relationship. And then when she says I just got out of a relationship.
Thank you very much. My dudes, Don't
run away.
Don't go for a woman. I'm just coming
And
out
also
of
for a girl, if a guy comes up to you and be like, I just got off a relationship, run. Because for me, there are so many men out there that are projecting their insecurities and they've got this abusive and very manipulative and narcissistical behavior that they portray on women through gaslighting them, because they were once in a relationship where they gave their everything and then it wasn't reciprocated. So now what he's doing is, he's like, you know what? I need to make sure this person stays with me. You know, you can force someone to stay with you by just manipulating them, because women are emotional beings. So I feel like healing process is very important. I feel like after a relationship, take like a year.
But do you think
possible?
Do you think the healing process for women is longer than the healing process for men?
I think the healing process for women is actually shorter than for men. Men are very emotional beings, especially if he loved you. Men are more emotional than women. Men can hold a grudge, number one, and men can be petty. I've seen guys get out of really messed up relationships and become petty. Men can get petty. I'm telling you.
What's the pettiest you have seen?
And then a guy dating my best friend.
Oh, what did like? Oh, you're a guy. Then dating your best friend after. Okay, that is
the pettiest thing I've ever seen in my life. Where you actually sit with yourself, knowing this person is my friend, but you know what? I actually think
it's not
you
your
were
friend.
Never my friend. I actually like guys who do that for me. Like if you leave me and you date my friend, man, you're the best thing I ever seen in my life. I will continue and I'll never leave this friend. I'll just know the limits, but I'll continue introducing it to all my boyfriends because she'll now become my standard.
Dude,
once you fall for her, we're done.
And I don't know. And then I'm going to
and I believe Kuti, I will only chengera a person who wants to be with me. Not immediately my friend Mamtaura, you get lost. I'm my friend. You can go.
No, it's all good anyway. Like I'm saying, Kuti, if prayer or it tying that, if prayer is so strong, it was never meant to be.
You were never meant to be.
If your friend, if your boyfriend or girlfriend ends up dating your friend, it was never meant to be.
It wasn't. Well, the big question now comes back to you, Tinashe. How long does it take you to get over someone or to get into the next relationship? That's the better question. Like you break up with someone today. How long?
It depends.
How long?
It depends.
Because I'm sure my DMs are always there's always somebody ready to snatch you.
Alright, anyway. I think I'll take. It depends, really.
Because men, because right now
it depends, but I think.
Let's be honest.
But I think.
Men is
But I think.
Women.
But I think. Or for example.
10 minutes later.
I think 2 weeks.
Wow, that's short.
2 weeks, 3 weeks, I think. Nedabo.
I'm so quick, bro.
But it's not like I'm not emotionally invested. It doesn't. It's not that. But I quickly emotionally de-invest.
And process things. That's really different.
I go through. I don't run away.
Would you say that's how a lot of men are?
So not Sierra. Some people take months. Some people take
years.
It depends also with your personality as a person. Like the last time I was talking to you about, I was explaining to you about dark triad personality. It depends on what personality you are, the type of person you are. In Anguga, I feel like I'm snitching on myself.
Yes, you are. Snitch.
So let's just cut it in.
Man. Okay, guys, welcome back to the best podcast you guys have ever seen. We are called the Greatness Effect Podcast, and it's such a pleasure to be here, to be chatting with you guys, I'm Benelda, as always, and yeah, this is the guy who sits next to me with his glasses. I don't know why.
No, I was telling you.
In the light.
I got these glasses. This is actually the first time me wearing these glasses.
As you can see, he's totally lost his mind.
So today I was just like, I just want to be cool. I've seen other people wear shades on on their podcast. So I'm like, I have a podcast, one, check.
Like
I have sunglasses, check. So
I'm gonna wear them. Check. See what I'm saying, people?
But I do look cool though.
This is what I have to do. I'm not gonna lie, you do look cool, but this is what I have to deal with. So Tinashe is hoping one day to go to the beach with these glasses. So he's gonna start the first beach in his life is on our podcast. I think next time we should have like sand and I'll be wearing a bikini and you can have your shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And
yeah.
Somebody.
Okay, people, so it's such a pleasure to have you on the show. Today, what are we going to be talking about? Let me give you the title. The role of travel and exploration in self-discovery and personal development. I'm always the person who likes to define things. What exactly is travel?
Our podcast dictionary.
I totally love it. Like for me to have, I feel like I'm such a student because in school, the first thing they tell you to do is you give your introduction, right?
Yeah.
And then the first thing you do straight afterwards, you define important terms. So for me, the important terminology here is definitely number one, what exactly is travel and exploration? Mm-hmm. What's self-discovery? Oh. And what's personal development? So personally, I like just giving a background or a definition of something. So this is what I think traveling is. Traveling is just moving from one place to the next, somewhere different. But when you put the concept of exploration now, it means you are going to a particular area to learn about that space. So it could be me coming kumbakwana Tinashe. That's travel and exploration because that's exploring. It's exploring their culture, it's exploring their language, it's exploring their behavior, it's exploring their food. Like you're exploring something. So traveling, you're just moving from one place to the next. Where are you going? That's traveling. You're going somewhere. Exploring that place now, you are finding out what makes that place unique or what's different about it or what sets that place apart. So that's why other people are going to London, some people are going to New York, they're traveling, they're going to a different place to explore the cultures there. My boss at one point, he went to this place, it's an African state, where he wanted to study wine. And it's been a great experience for him. He's still trying to do everything. He's trying to travel all over the world.
African state, Southern Africa or?
I'm not sure. I don't remember.
Eastern?
I don't remember. But he does do traveling a lot and exploring things. But his agenda is mostly to do with wine, how they make their wine.
Oh, he's a wine connoisseur.
He is a wine connoisseur and he is, what's his name? A sommelier.
Oh.
So lately at work, I'm going through his course so that I get a better understanding of it. And the biggest thing that I've learned...
Are you starting to get interested in wine as well?
Yes, I want to. I think it's interesting. Okay. And here's the thing, the coolest thing for me was, imagine this, there's something called wine tears.
What's that?
So you know when you pour wine in a glass, and then... drops like around the glass.
The wine glass inside.
She drip it down. So those are wine tears.
Okay.
When I learned that, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be learning this terminology.
So it's a course. What's?
It's a course, but he charges $47. He charges like $48.99 for it.
Bucks?
Yes, it's worth it.
Now I'm gonna start my own course.
And you put it on Kajabi.
No. Not for wine though.
Yes, might not be for wine, but I do suggest that a lot of people should take it up. It's an amazing skill to have wherever you're gonna go in the world. It's a great skill to have. Wine is something that's amazing to collaborate with different kinds of foods. You know, food actually tastes better with wine, mysteriously.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Interesting.
And then on to the next, self-discovery. What is discovery? These are two words just put together. So. Self being me, discovery meaning finding out. To discover something is to find out. You know, like how some people say that they discovered the Victoria Falls. Sure. So discovering something means that you didn't know that it was there, and now you do. So you're trying to find out what that is. So for Tinashe, self-discovery could be he's trying to figure out who Tinashe is, what Tinashe likes, where he likes to go.
I've discovered
what his pet peeves are.
Tinashe looks good in
shade. What his pet peeves are, what his style is, the kind of women he's into. That's self-discovery. what are his ambitions, where does he want to be in the next 10 years. And then the final definition would have to be for personal development. Personal development, now, I like to divide it into different sections. There's your health, there's your spirit, there's your finances, there's your economic, there's your social. These are personal developments. All of these things, they affect you. There's also physical development. It's part of personal development because you're trying to improve yourself as an individual. So now the question comes back to, what is the role of moving from place to place discovering in helping you find out about yourself and your personal growth in all aspects of your life?
Ladies and gentlemen, our podcast dictionary.
Okay, so let's talk about, let's firstly deal with personal development. Let's deal with self-discovery, and then we'll deal with personal development. So Tinashe, what do you think is the role of traveling and exploration in self-discovery?
Okay.
Is it possible to discover yourself without traveling? Is that even practical?
Okay, first of all, when I hear traveling and traveling and what?
Traveling and discovery.
Traveling and discovery. When I hear those two, traveling and discovery.
Traveling and exploration.
And exploration. When I hear those two terms, it kind of points to another word.
Which one?
Exposure.
Ooh.
So
that's deep, bro.
So like, I just think we can actually expand this topic a bit more. Because you can get exposure to a lot of things. But personally, I think traveling is amazing.
Where have you gone?
I have.
What's the furthest you've gone from home? For me, it's Big Falls.
Okay. For me, it's
the United States of America.
No, maybe
soon.
Soon. But for me, it's been South Africa.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was very far.
But I've seen that you get to see a lot of things.
Like women. I've heard South African women are beauties.
But software match.
Bye-bye. Next. We are not speaking about this. So how did traveling help you discover yourself? How did that exposure, maybe to let's use South Africa as a case study for you.
Okay.
And then I will use Vic Falls as a case study for me.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I think it's
actually no. I'm using Harare.
Because you're from Tat.
I'm from Tat, so Harare was a big deal. The transition from Tat, actually a lot happened.
I just think different environments require a different you.
Oh.
Yeah, they require a different you. You can't be the same person in a certain place.
Isn't that being hypocritical or?
No, it's not being hypocritical. I still look cool though. It's not being hypocritical.
It's okay.
No, it's not being hypocritical.
Nah.
But I think that's part of discovering yourself. Because
does that mean you're changing as an individual?
No, you're expanding your concept of you, the concept of yourself.
Wow, that's
deep. You're expanding the concept of yourself. You go and meet new people. You respond differently.
It's true.
You will learn something about yourself. You will learn if you actually like people or you don't.
Hey, that's true.
Yeah.
I realize that I don't. In as much as I'm an extrovert and I like, I'm very.
Dude, that's so. You don't like people?
I'm horrible with people. I don't have.
I think that's a better way of saying it. You don't like people.
I don't have people skills.
I love people.
And Tinashe has people skills.
I love people.
Inini ukatotara neni for like 10 minutes ukangopfurikidza yo
No, but like,
Yeah.
if you are a salesman, and I believe you are,
I am.
you have to like people.
I do
You
like
have to
people.
just love people because that's where the money is.
I do like people. I'm just not. If it's like if I have a target or I have something that I need to get done, I can spend an hour at Chiku's and Yamtown. But if it's just general conversation,
Like,
I struggle the most, and that's why I have the least amount of friends in comparison to my cousin, who has loads of friends.
ooh, a D.
No.
Okay.
So the cousin mine. She's quiet, but
Is she beautiful?
very. But
How come?
Hey.
I wanted to ask her off camera. How come you haven't linked me with any of your friends? She's not a good friend, this one. Anyway, that's not the
Like I was saying, Tinashe, Valentine's was hard for you, but not for all of us. So I ain't hooking you up with nobody. So like I was saying,
But I'm a good guy, man.
but remember my good intentions. I don't pick up my glasses. I was just here.
I'm a good guy, man.
Yeah. Back to what I was saying. I was just saying, Guti, there are people in my life who are so quiet, but then they have better people skills when it doesn't require like an agenda. You're not business minded. You want to talk business? I can go the whole day with you.
But social.
Social?
Okay. And here's my thing. I make it a goal that everywhere that I go, it's a new place, I get at least one contact. At least I should at least meet one new person.
You don't spend your time with no, you know. Which guys?
No, like I have this cousin of mine. He always says, "Oh, you're a social butterfly."
Yes.
Yeah, but I think I think people that actually develop those skills do better in life. In terms of, because you needed to know someone who knows someone who knows someone who knows someone
To get you to the person you need.
Yeah, so I think it's very important to just put yourself out there. Of course, it's a skill. It's some people naturally are like that.
Yeah.
But for people like me, it's a skill that you have to be intentional.
That's very dope.
Yeah.
So you're saying that the importance of traveling is for exposure purposes, and this exposure will help you understand yourself a little bit better.
Yeah.
And everywhere you go, it needs a different you.
It requires a different you.
Not that you are changing or being hypocritical, but you're expanding your identity.
Yeah.
So let's use South Africa as a case study. What are the 3 things you discovered about yourself when you traveled there? Number 1, we have discovered that you love South African women and they're beautiful. And yeah, they have the body. So that means you discovered that you have a liking towards women who are a bit more curvy.
I didn't say that. She's saying that for me. I was gonna say, in regards to
Self-discovery.
Self-discovery and
3 things. What 3 things did you discover about yourself when you went there?
Okay. I think we will make decisions based on what we know.
That's what you learned? We just make decisions based on
what we know. We develop preferences based on what we know.
Wow.
Okay. So one thing about me traveling to South Africa was, in regard to women, is that there are actually more beautiful women out there.
Very. So, and all genders, and I mean all nationalities.
Yeah.
Chinese,
different personalities of people. Not women, not only women, but people.
Yeah.
So it helps you to appreciate differences in other people, because you're not meeting your usual pool of people.
That's true.
You're now meeting new people who have different views, who have different personalities, and that's, for me, that was interesting. Like, I remember talking to, I was limited. I do admit I was limited
because of language barrier.
Because of not traveling.
Okay.
Before then, for me it was something that was really uncommon to meet a white person. Just meet a white person because of not traveling.
Okay.
But then I traveled to South Africa, Cape Town, and I spoke to like guys who came from England. They come for like the cricket team. Because they have T20s in Cape Town. Like Cape Town has its teams, Joburg is its team. Then they play cricket. So these guys, I didn't know that Cape Town would buy people from England to come and play in their league.
Wow.
So like you could be talking to these guys and they'll be telling you the experiences. Oh man, you know what, and you know. So it helps you understand even other people.
That's true.
And appreciate differences in other people.
That's amazing.
And I think that's also an exercise that helps you to be able to
your people
to talk to people.
Yeah.
You stole the words right out of my mouth.
Okay, so when you went to South Africa, you discovered or you learned about people skills, and that exposure was amazing. What else did you learn about yourself that's different? What about your diet preferences? I know South Africa is well known for its wineries. It's well known for its food.
I never tasted. All right.
I never had a quarter, and I hear it's amazing, and that's where
I didn't see a quarter.
Just so waka.
But I didn't. In terms of food, I saw.
Did you have a squid?
No, not that. I really don't remember like the actual diets, but like one thing that stood out for me was the way people love Tabasco. Tabasco, it's a sauce. It's like it's a sauce. It's a hot sauce. It's Tabasco, so it's from America. They love Tabasco. So I didn't know Tabasco until that was on it. Oh, so this is actually a thing. Like most of the restaurants, they have it. They have Tabasco.
That's amazing. So it also comes back to Zimbabwe. Everybody knows that no matter what restaurant you're gonna go to, they have rabroe.
Rabro or
all gold.
All gold. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Ketchup, yeah.
But I do love one person who makes Zimbabwe the she's really good at advertising our brands. Gemma travels everywhere.
She does.
Chile in Zimbabwe.
She does.
And I think if someone is to ever meet Gemma,
they would know. There's chili from Zimbabwe.
There's chili from Zimbabwe, and it's actually really nice. That chili is amazing. I always have it with everything. I mean, from cucumbers to my vegetables to sometimes my rice. If I don't have an appetite, I use that chili to actually get an appetite, and it works wonders. Right? When this is an appetite, it can work day. And I know that's all.
One thing I learned in South Africa about food as well. If I was to drink, I don't drink. I was naturally born drunk.
Yeah, fair.
So I don't drink. I've tried, but alcohol is just not my thing. But if I was to drink, I think I would go for tequila.
Is it sweet?
And it's something that I learned South Africa.
So you could be an alcoholic.
But I'm not. I don't like alcohol. But I would go for tequila.
Is it sweet? Is tequila sweet?
I just like you're not committed to tequila. I think the commitment aspect, the relationship between you and you have to take Guachi, and you're bonding with your beer. For me, tequila is just short. I'm good. I'm done with that.
I like the song by this country singers. I think it's Tinashe. They sing about the song called Tequila, and it's about a girl whom one of the guys liked. And here's the funny thing: after they broke up, he said, "The only time I think about you is when I taste tequila." I love country. So I'm fascinated that you are saying that you and tequila it doesn't require this bonding with the bottle. You're like. You're constantly babysitting the bottle.
Babysitting.
You see people are not doing it.
So I just like it's clean, it's efficient. It's you're done. You're done.
When I taste tequila.
So yeah.
Okay.
But like,
is there something else that you actually learned in South Africa? In relation to your personal self-discovery that you didn't know? Or do I jump in? About my Harare experience.
Jump in.
Okay, let's see. Self-discovery, Harare. One of the first things I learned when I came to Harare, and this is the hardest thing I ever had to learn, is you have to be street smart. Not everybody who's nice to you is actually being nice to you. People here are straight up robbers.
John comes to town.
Yo.
Not all of them though.
Harare people, you need to be smart. You can't.
Dude, we have viewers who are not in Zimbabwe. Not all of them.
Not all Zimbabweans are like
in
that.
South Africa, crime is there, but you know.
But for me, I come from a very small town. I think like any other person, when you stay in your hometown, like those country hometowns, Mutare is like that. You know, everything is cozy, people are friendly. Rarely do you worry about your bag or whatnot when you're moving around. You move freely, right? But when I got here, I honestly had to learn to be alert. And it's a good thing because now it taught me like, not everyone is trustworthy. It's not a bad thing. I'll go to a Narashata or whatever, but you need to know who to trust, and trust is earned. You just don't give it away. So now I'm a lot wiser. But when it comes to, you know, I'm what Harare would call street smart. Now I'm street smart. Like when I'm like,
What you want? Huh? You want some of this?
Want some of this? Why are you touching me?
It's about to go there.
You know what I'm saying? Seriously. And then another thing that I did then when I came to Harare was Harare is full of opportunities and you need to grab them and go. Something that's not there in Mutare. Mutare is a very small town, it's cozy, chichi. You get jobs based off who your parents know. But when I came to Harare, I was trying to prove a point to my parents that I can make it on my own and I can work hard to get to the top by myself. And I did prove that. When I came to Harare, I got my interviews, I got my jobs by myself. I even got the podcast because Tinashe saw me on stage one day and was like, I want you on my podcast. Like that was him. I was like, wow. Like this is the person I want to work with. This is my co-host. I see you in my future. Not like marriage-wise. But like, yeah, progressive-wise, in relation to the podcast, that was Tinashe. And another thing that I did learn growing up as an individual was, because of traveling, I left home when I went for university in Bindura, and I learned that my spiritual development, which is my personal development, I had to actually have a relationship with God for myself, not because of my parents, but for myself. And I prayed so hard, I worked hard, I went to the mountain to pray a lot. I would read my Bible, I attended a lot of services, I attended a lot of conferences that had to do with God, and the development and the progress I've made in my life has helped me help other people. So I really did learn that because of traveling and going far away from home, I now could see that I need to have a relationship with God for me because my parents are not always going to be there. And if they're not going to be there, then who's going to fight my battles for me? I have to fight those battles. So what's the other thing that you learned? Another thing. Sometimes you really don't have to go somewhere physically. You can travel through social media and the internet. I think Tinashe can really exacerbate or really expand on this. You can really go a bit further when we're talking about, you know, learning something over the internet. It's a form of traveling. Because when you're online, sometimes it feels like you're having this 3D experience.
You were there.
So Tinashe, what is something that you learned over the internet that impacted you, which felt like traveling somewhere and has changed maybe the podcast, maybe your view? What exactly?
All right. So like we're saying, the major word here is exposure. So we don't want you guys to be limited to only traveling, but we also need to understand you can travel through social media, through books, for example, the reason why this podcast
is alive
is because I was looking at YouTube and seeing what other people are doing in other places. And I was like, I could do that.
I can do that.
So
yes, you can.
So there's a guy who's called Loose Howls. Search him up on YouTube. It's called Loose Howls.
Louis.
He's in America. So he runs what he calls the School of Greatness. That's his podcast. And I glocalized.
You got localized.
I glocalized. Like globalization is when you take something global and you turn it local.
Like who did that?
Like Dr. Strike Masiwa when he was studying Econet. I have heard. I'm not so sure. You can correct me. I could be wrong. But I've heard that he would go to South Africa and look at Eskom. Not Eskom. Vodacom. Cell C, like the telecom sector in South Africa, and it would come back with it, and that's why we have Econet,
and we are grateful.
Yeah, because he was traveling, he was learning, he was
globalized.
But the good thing now is like you can do that over your phone, over your laptop, on the internet. So The Greatness Factor podcast was themed after Lewis Howes. His podcast is called The School of Greatness.
Yeah.
So that resonated with me because I believe that there's greatness in everyone. Greatness in her, greatness in me, greatness in you. You're great people. There's a greatness
the world's
factor
greatest.
in everyone. So that's.
I'm the star in the sky. Are you gonna sing with me?
No.
I'm the mountain peak of high. Come on, Tinashe. Yeah, I made it. I'm the world's greatest. I'm the little bit of hope. When my back's up against the wall,
Come on.
I can see it. I'm the world's greatest. So the Greatness Factor podcast was named after the great Louis. His classes. So why did you say the Greatness Factor podcast? You said it's because there's greatness in
There's
you.
greatness. That resonated. That became personal to me because I believe there's greatness in everyone.
Mm-hmm.
There's a greatness factor in everyone.
Wow.
So that's why we started the podcast, and that's why we mainly focus on ideas because ideas are seeds, and seeds grow, and if they grow properly, they become great. They become so.
And they can feed
Yeah.
others.
Yeah, that's one example of me not traveling to go somewhere, but still having the same effect.
Yeah.
Of developing. We can now say we have a podcast.
We have one.
Yeah, simply because it's something that we took from somewhere by not necessarily going there. Then there's the second thing, like I traveled locally. So I met this guy called Ibn Mabunda. He's a presenter on ZTN.
Yeah.
And he has a financial show on ZTN. So we met somewhere.
Yeah.
I traveled somewhere at a conference, a Tariffs Commission conference.
Yeah.
That's where I met him and we networked. People skills.
People.
I met him, we talked, and he ended up inviting me to ZTN Studios, the headquarters.
Yeah.
Like that, it was amazing. That was exposure. I had to travel. That was exposure. I saw the cameras, I saw the lighting, I saw the studio sets. Because one thing that stood out for me from that experience is I wanted to learn. One thing we are still to work on this podcast is sound. We need to soundproof our studio. And that's something that I learned when I went to
He learned.
I learned.
He learned.
Ndakadzidza.
Yes, Tim.
Pandakaenda ku ZTN. Ndakadzidza kuti it's a simple thing. It's a simple matter. It's a simple.
And we're gonna do it.
It's a simple solution.
You might actually do a real doing it in the room.
Yeah. So those are examples of what you can do if you can't travel, you can learn through social media. And I highly suggest
Or the internet.
Yeah, I highly suggest that the thing with social media is
Your feed says a lot about you.
if you don't manage your feed, ku computer science vanoti giggle.
Garbage in, garbage out.
So on social media,
In high school, as a teacher, we called that because he always would say that in a math lesson. Giggle. Garbage in, garbage out. What you put out, what you get.
No. So on social media, if you don't manage what you feed in, then you're not developing.
Oblangata.
Your imagination is not being expanded.
Obla.
For example, if you look at my Instagram page,
Yeah.
if I follow someone, it's a personal relationship. It's someone. It's a personal.
He's not even
relationship.
following me, I know it.
I don't know if you're on Instagram, but I've searched for you. But anyway, that's not the point. That's not the point. The point is,
This isn't over.
It's not over. You'll be back.
I'll be back.
So I follow. Yes, of course I follow other people because it's personal. But I mainly follow Forbes, Bloomberg, Business Insider.
Yes.
Entrepreneur. I follow National Geographic. I follow TED Talk. I follow things that expand
Your mind.
my mind
That's amazing.
and my understanding of the world. And that really helps even in developing social skills, even knowledge. You come to people and they're talking about AI and you can't say anything.
I don't even know that it means artificial intelligence.
You understand? So it's very important for you to manage what you feed in on social media. it's cool if you follow Jay-Z and he's making his money and you're a fan. I understand. But what impact does that have? Personal impact
on you.
Does that increase your bank account? It doesn't. Does it increase your vocabulary? It doesn't.
What kind it does? All I do is win, no matter what. Good money on my mind, I ain't never giving up. Everybody step up in the building. Everybody says go up. And it's dated.
So yeah, I'm not criticizing what you do with your life. That's very important. But here, the Greatness Factor podcast, we are about ideas.
All about
bring
greatness.
out the greatness. Yeah, that bring out the greatness. So make sure you follow things that feed into you.
Like us.
Yes, hopefully.
So guys, we just wanted to open this chat up to you guys as well. What do you think traveling has done for you? You know, traveling also helps you in growing your network. The thing about network is good for self-development. I love this guy who says you are the 5 people that you spend the most time with.
Average.
So you are the average of the 5 people you spend your time with. I think networks are very important, and traveling or exposure is good for you because personal development is also dependent on who's around you, who influences. It's also dependent on your environment. Sometimes you might fail to make it in Zimbabwe, but you could go to South Africa and you could be the next big thing. So sometimes don't limit your ideas to a specific place. Me being in Mutare was not going to get me on a podcast. So I left. I came to Harare, and Harare got me here. And when me and Tinashe need to get somewhere else, and if it needs us to relocate, we will. Why? Because that's the thing about exposure. You need to take yourself, you need to get out of this box that you're in. You know, you need to see what's out there. So today, what me and Tinashe are trying to poke in you guys is, what exactly do you think traveling has done for you? And what do you think you haven't achieved that you could do through exposure, whether it's changing your feed on social media or what you do on the internet, or it could be just you moving from your home to here. You might not start at the top. Most of us don't. Most of us are not trust fund babies, as I like to say. But if you are a trust fund baby, your parents are the wisest people in the world. The Bible does say that a rich and a wise man will leave an inheritance for his children's children's children. So if you're coming from a family like mine where it's not like that, it's okay. Starting from the bottom, now we're here, taking it one day at a time.
Get a simple book if you can't travel. If you can't afford travel, get a simple book.
Get a book.
Go on social media.
Yes.
Go on YouTube.
Hallelujah.
Learn. There are a lot of documentaries.
Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah.
So guys, we're really appreciative of you guys. I just wanted to read you something. Tinashe's birthday was on the 31st of January. And this is literally the best person, you guys could ever meet. And it's Valentine's Day, but I just wanted to say happy birthday to Tinashe. I'll gift him something really cool, which you guys, he'll probably tell you like later on what I got him. But yeah, oh stop it. Oh great, this is why. Oh God, it's the glasses. Tinashe, are you hugging yourself like weirdly? So it's like that, Anjiti. So Tina, happy birthday for my part. I always like to do a dramatic singing. Happy birthday to you. Okay, we're done. So ladies and gentlemen, we are going to do what we always do best. So tell a friend,
tell a cousin, a brother, a sister,
tell a homie, and
a dog.
Oh my God, a pet! What? The Greatness Factor podcast will be here next week. It was such a pleasure to have you guys. Bye!
We hope that you have been blessed by this episode of the Greatness Factor podcast. If you wish to get in touch with Tinashe, you may visit our website at www.tinashecmudanda.com or email us at tinashe@tinashecmudanda.com. Till next time, stay blessed.